It's the final Smackdown on Fox. Let's talk about it.
Oh, Fox, enough of the pitter patter. Let's just get at her.
Yeah, I'm back.
Back.
Um, Back on DA Wrestling here, Doug and Andrew. It's Friday night,
It's Friday.
and yeah, I've been away for a bit, kind of.
We're hanging out
Uh,
to the breeze.
yeah, but I'm gonna try and go back to my regular schedule of being on here at least twice a week. Um, but yeah, Andrew, how you doing?
It's it's been a month since everything happens with mom, so it's kind of it's a
Yep,
day.
yep, it's a day. I had a day at work too, buddy.
Month's gone by, so it's kind of
Yep,
it's getting better. It's not like it's not horrible. Like it could be a lot worse, but
right.
it's better. A lot of things are solved and in its place and where they're supposed to be at this point in time right now. So yeah, it's been pretty good. You know, yeah, it's kind of what it is. Like, anybody who knows what that's like, when you lose a loved one or your mother or your father, it's a crapshoot for a while. It's a
Yep,
crapshoot.
definitely.
Do the best you can, even when you know the inevitable is coming. You kind of just do your best to get through. And anybody, if anybody understands, you understand what I'm talking about here. You really will.
100%.
So, but let's get
Um,
let's get into like Raw's final, sorry, SmackDown's final appearance on Fox because
yes.
yeah,
So,
let's
yeah,
like to also
I I was not expecting this to be much of a show because they're geared up for that big season premiere on USA
yes,
next week.
yeah, and they're on USA
But
till January, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, till
I
January.
think, well, I think the way it's going to work is they have like a 2-year deal on USA, and then once that expires, then they're going to Netflix.
Yeah, Raw will be the first one there for the next foreseeable future.
Yeah. So, um,
Raw's
so
gonna be
yeah,
on
tonight.
USA all next week, and like all their programs on USA next week, and then
For the next couple weeks, actually.
they'll be on USA, and then once January hits, Raw moves to Netflix. NXT will be on CW, obviously. That's happening in a couple weeks. And then SmackDown, I think, will be on USA till 2 years.
Yeah, so they were advertising this on Raw Monday night, where the next 3 weeks is going to be WWE week because Raw, NXT, and SmackDown are all on USA.
Yeah.
Uh, NXT's deal, they go on CW October 1st,
Mm-hmm. And that's
and
that's that's where you get Julia versus Roxanne Perez for the women's title.
I think so.
I think that's what they've already announced it. I think that's what's going to happen. At least
Yeah.
that's what Julia said in the promo on NXT.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's what they're doing.
I'm down. So yeah, tonight's episode of
Yeah.
SmackDown came to us from beautiful Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Yeah, they're doing Calgary on Monday with Bret Hart.
We're going to see Bret Hart on WWE TV for the first time in like what,
Five,
six,
5 years, 6 years.
7 years?
Yeah, something like that. It's been a while. I mean,
Yeah,
he's been on AEW more than he has WWE.
um, but yeah, so show kicks off. Cody comes out. Um, I will say this crowd was lukewarm at best all night. We got a good whoa out of them, but I don't know. They were down for a lot of this stuff tonight. Um,
Oh, hockey season.
Cody,
Up. You know, it's Edmonton.
that's true. And speaking of that, Corey Perry was in attendance.
Oh, lovely. Corey Perry.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, so he got involved later. I'll talk about that. But and so Cody comes out. So what do you want to talk about? He knew he was about to get interrupted, so he just invited the Bloodline to the ring.
Yeah.
Solo leaves the other three on the floor
Yeah.
and gets in the ring with Cody by himself.
Okay.
And basically pleads his case as to why he deserves this shot.
Look, I don't think Solo really deserves a shot, but they're gonna give it to him probably anyway.
Well, they did give it to him.
Yeah.
It's going to be next week.
Oh,
But before that,
so they're starting on USA pretty big then.
yeah. So it gets better. I'll get to that in a sec. Before that, Cody tried to get Jacob Fatu to answer the challenge for the title match next week. And there was this tense little moment between Solo and Jacob. And the seeds are being planted.
You know, let's bring this really quickly here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe down below here, folks. Enjoy the show. Small click for you, large click for us. We thank you very much for all your support and everything like that. Especially go on to Spotify and Podbean too. Make sure you support us on there too. But back to this show here for a second here.
And actually, we'll soon be on Apple.
And we'll soon be on Apple. Brand new news.
I finally figured it out.
Good God. But
Okay.
here's my
Go ahead.
Now, we mentioned a number of weeks ago, a certain individual, a certain brother of Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, sorry, is joined WWE. Now, is it possible with the bloodline here, Jacob Fatu, who's done in past interviews before WWE, has acknowledged Roman Reigns as the tribal chief? Is it possible that Fatu joins the original bloodline, and let's say they don't have Sammy in it, and Hikuleo comes in, and he's the fourth guy. So you have the three Haku brothers with Solo.
That's interesting. I
There's one more Fatu.
think, look, yeah, Zilla.
And he's a nut bar just like Jacob.
Oh my god, all of these dudes are fucking nutcases. Okay.
Hell of a wrestlers though. They're doing something right.
But anyways, this gets better. By the way,
Yeah.
You didn't even let me finish.
Okay, well.
Floor's mine. So, after Jacob Fatu stands down, Solo accepts the challenge for the title match next week.
Okay.
But he says we don't have to wait until next week. And if you remember, just before WrestleMania, Roman did the snap, and then like Jimmy and Solo came through the crowd.
Yep.
Well, Solo just snapped his fingers, and the Bloodline got in the ring. But right behind Cody slid in the Street Profits and DIY.
Okay.
Which was then Nick Aldis had come out.
Okay.
And he made an 8-man tag match for later in the night where it was Street Profits and DIY versus the Bloodline. But before he left,
I thought that was really supposed to be like a three-way match. Like a three-way, like a 6-man tag. Sorry, I was supposed to be it was supposed to be DIY versus Bloodline versus Street Profits for the titles or something like that. They just pivot.
I didn't see any advertising for this show, to be fair. But so before he left, Nick Aldis said he agrees with Cody that this bloodline interference stuff is getting old. So say it with me. Next week we're getting a cage match.
Cage match. Ooh.
Between Solo and Cody for the title.
So
which is exactly where I would debut Hikuleo or have Jimmy Uso return.
Or because I'm assuming it's not going to be back for a little bit. I'm assuming Roman came in for a little bit, Not laid out. He's going to come back after a bit, I'm assuming.
He was supposed to be on next week's show,
They may
but
have.
they pulled him from advertising a couple of weeks ago.
I know. I think Offa's funeral was like sometime last week or like a couple
Yeah,
ago. So that probably makes a lot of sense
yeah.
at this point. But I'm looking forward to the steel cage match, right? I'm assuming Hikuleo is going to show up or Jimmy's going to. I'm assuming they're going to. We're not far. We're about what, a month away from Bad Blood or so, and then we're going to go right into Survivor Series mode.
We're about 2.5 months out from Survivor Series.
Yeah, so they're going to start having to build this up the next little bit for sure, because there's no way they're not doing War Games Bloodline versus Bloodline 2.0. There's no way.
I know.
Like that.
You and I
That's
both know. We both know that's where it's going.
exactly.
I think everybody knows where it's going, but we have to do the major storytelling first, which is getting Jimmy back on TV, getting Jay and maybe Sammy.
Maybe yeah. Like I think right now
Right.
he's the wild card to not be on the team. I think it's a possibility. Like you have Hikuleo there. He's waiting for the debut. Don't forget, Jacob Fatu was just signed that company for months before he even debuted.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a possibility to do the exact same thing with Hikuleo.
Yeah. I mean, he signed before WrestleMania,
Yeah,
and he didn't debut till like after Backlash.
something like that. Yeah. So
But anyways, yeah, so that was like we'll get to the main event a bit later. Pause. So the first match of the night was Bailey and Tiffany Stratton. Before this, Nia kind of confronts Tiffany about possibly cashing in on her last week in Berlin. And Tiffy played it off like, no, I would never do that. And Nia's like, okay, well, maybe I'll come out and help you the way you helped me last week. Okay.
fair enough.
So we get to the match. Tiffany had it won, but Nia distracted the ref too long. Bailey kicks out, hits the rose plant. Bailey wins. So there's some seeds there.
It we got to do the classic typical WWE thing they've done before. People with the briefcase had them lose a couple times, and all of a sudden they cash in and win. Done that before.
Remember, Damian Priest held it from June last year until
Well,
April.
yeah, that was a bit of a different situation though, considering the fact that who was holding the title. I mean,
You talking about Seth and Roman?
like we all know Priest was never going to cash in on Roman. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna pull the cash in on Tiffany, if you're gonna Tiffany's gonna cash in on. The question is when she's gonna cash in on Nia, because I'm assuming that's what they want to do, right? Or they're gonna turn one of them face. It's gonna end up being Neville that one of them turns face. I think a more likely scenario would be Tiffany turn face.
No.
But
The more likely scenario is Nia turning face, but I don't think you need to turn Nia face to get cashed in on.
no, but I think they're gonna try to do that. Like
Possibly.
to me, Nia's a better heel.
But I hear Charlotte maybe on the way back.
I mean,
I don't really know if you need another big baby face on SmackDown because you got what? Jade, Bianca, Naomi, Bailey,
yeah.
Mishin.
If Charlotte's coming back, Charlotte's really coming back really just to have matches with Cargill, Belair. Belair still has a face.
She'll have another title match or two.
Yeah, but she has never faced Belair yet, has she? think Charlotte's the only one
Yeah.
of the four women that hasn't.
Well,
Like out of the four women,
so
four horsewomen of WWE.
okay, so Charlotte was a baby face like up until she got hurt.
Yeah,
Her losing to Rhea last year at
yeah,
Mania turned her
yeah.
because she went away for so long, and then when she came back, she was like, "Oh fuck, like you know, I'm one of the good guys."
Charlotte will always be a better heel than she will be a face. She always will be a better.
Most people are, but
Mm,
um,
some, yeah. Like, there's some you can argue who aren't better at being a face and heel, but some really just better heels.
so in the laugh my ass off moment of the week,
Sure.
we finally got the in-ring debut of the new Giovanni Vinci
Yeah, I kind of heard about this.
versus Apollo Crews.
It lost in 3 seconds.
He took so long with his entrance, the referee just got fed up with him, rang the bell, and Apollo hit him with a crucifix and beat him in about 5 seconds.
Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Vinci here. Like he's a good wrestler. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like the character in general. Um, I just don't understand why you do all these promos and all this stuff and being that's with the guy that had him lose in 3 seconds.
Okay, don't even get me started down this rabbit hole.
I just don't understand why you do it. It just makes no sense to me.
I have a worse example than Vinci.
That's fine. I'm sure there's worse examples than Vinci. I just don't understand the meaning behind it.
I don't know.
Like it makes to me,
I think the story you're trying to tell there is like he's so arrogant that and overconfident that it cost him. He's so like self-centered and stuff like that.
well, fair enough. I mean,
So this led to a backstage segment with Theory and Waller making fun of Owens and kind of pimping out the Edmonton Oilers championship belt, which, not gonna lie, looked really sweet.
nice.
Um, uh, but yeah, they were trying to clown on KO for losing. Um, and he's like, well, you know, don't worry about me. Like me and Cody are fine. Same can be said about you two. And then challenges them not to a handicap match, to a triple threat match.
Really?
The three of them, yes. Waller, Theory, and Kevin Owens.
Okay.
So this match came up next.
All right.
And Waller and Theory did a very good job of working together. Owens hit Waller with a power bomb, and he must have laid on the floor for about 5 minutes. But eventually comes back, breaks up a pin. At one point, Theory hit this like rolling blockbuster on Owens, and Waller tried to steal the win, and Theory pulled him off. Like, what are you doing?
Just pull the trigger now.
Oh,
Get it done with. Pull the trigger.
please,
Doesn't need to be
please,
any more about it. Just pull the trigger.
Austin, please just pick him up and hit him with that stupid fucking finisher of yours.
Like you're obviously going to turn
By
Theory.
the way, Michael Cole brought up an interesting stat, which kind of ruined the match for me because I knew where it was going. When the match started, he said that one of their stat guys fed to him. Kevin Owens going into that match was 1-10 in triple threat matches
Oh, really?
in his WWE career.
Nice.
Well, now he's 2-10
Oh,
because eventually he fights them both off. Hits Theory with a stunner, which Theory sells the stunner better than anybody. I don't care.
well, the only person that sold it as good was probably The Rock, and he oversold the stuff out of it.
As good, yes, but I don't think. I think it's like a 1A, 1B,
Fair enough.
and Austin Theory's not 1B. But yeah, so After that, we had LA Knight come out,
Okay.
um, basically looking for his next challenger, only to be interrupted by Carmelo Hayes,
Yeah.
who starts bragging about beating Andrade 2 times in a row.
So well aware that Andrade's won the first two, right?
Well, that's what being a delusional heel is all about. We don't remember the losses. We just remember the wins.
Yeah.
Which of course prompted Andrade to come out to set the record straight. But they're both gunning for the U.S. title. He reminds LA Knight that that was his championship.
Yeah, fair enough. I think
I don't remember if he was champion when he got injured and then released.
might have been. Uh, although I can see what's going to happen here, though. I can see it be a triple threat match down the line between these three, and I can see Carmelo Hayes getting the title.
I'm all the way here for that. I'm just saying.
I'm more for Andrade. I don't think Carmelo really needs it yet, but unless you want to build Carmelo up to a better star, then probably that.
Do you want my projection on Carmelo Hayes?
You think he's going to be the world champion at some point?
He'll be the world champion within the next 3 years,
Probably.
either on Raw or SmackDown. He will be a world champion in the next 3 years.
I think it'll be more or less probably on Raw. I think he'll do. I think he'll go on Raw. You know what it comes down to?
Honestly,
Depends on whether or not Roman Reigns wants to hold the title or not.
it's going to boil down to if they can ever stop this hot potato between Cody and Roman.
They will eventually, because eventually they're going to have to. They're going to have to because Roman.
I think we only have one more big match left between Cody and Roman.
If they do it, I think if they're going to do one,
because they're at one apiece.
If they're going to do the match, one more match between both of them, you do it next year's SummerSlam.
I like that.
I don't think you need to do it at Mania. Let Rock and Roman do Mania. Like Cody.
What if it's the Royal Rumble?
The rest is SummerSlam. Because the Rumble, because the Rumble enough times you have enough going on at the Rumble. You don't really need that type of match at the Rumble because the Rumble's big enough as it is.
That's true.
The Rumble is the best show of the year. I don't give it as much as WrestleMania is the most critically acclaimed and their biggest show of the year. The best show of the year is the Rumble.
Well, that's where you have kind of the most optimism. It's the most unpredictable show of the year.
But I think that's why it makes it the best show of the year.
Sure. But I'm just saying, I challenge you to find a WWE event this year better than WrestleMania Night 2. I can think of like 3 AEW shows that are better than that, but
well, the only other event that rivals that one rivals this year was probably as far as WWE goes, the Rumble.
Probably WrestleMania last year.
No, like this year, right? Mm-hmm. This year goes WrestleMania. It goes like WrestleMania Night 2, then the Rumble.
I don't remember if this
was... the Rumble was up in the air this year,
right?
You had the return of Punk.
That's true,
right? So it could have went either way. It could have went Punk or it could have went Cody. You didn't really know who was going to win, and then you had on top of that you had the debut of Cargill, as well as Jordan Grace, right?
Which she's back on NXT next week too.
So I mean, like the Rumble's becoming the place of like forget Raw after Mania. The Rumble's becoming the place for debuts, more so than anything.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm with you. So kind of like the aftermath of that triple threat. Okay. sparked Theory and Waller to go to Nick Aldis because they beat down Owens after the match
Okay.
to challenge Owens and a partner of his choosing next week.
Randy?
My guess it's going to be Randy.
That'd be my guess right now.
My guess is it's going to be Randy.
Yeah.
But Raw could lend Sami Zayn for a night because it,
You could, yeah. I'd say it's probably more of a bet on Randy for it.
I think the safe bet is Randy.
Yeah, I think it's safe bet Randy.
So
you had,
I guess that brings us to the main event.
Yeah.
8-man tag.
Prophecy.
Which actually, by the way, before I get to that, Michael Cole did do like a thank you to Fox for being on there for 5 years, and they kind of rolled like
Really been 5 years already. My God.
October 2019, bro.
My God.
Daniel
McMahon was there. Daniel Bryan was part of the general manager team, and talking smack was a thing.
No, that had all finished by then.
No, but that when it first started on Fox, that was the thing.
No.
Yes, it was.
That was like 2016, dude.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
That was when they first were on Fox.
I'm
not getting debates.
No, but actually, this is what I was going to say. This highlight package did highlight the first show on Fox, which had The Rock and Becky Lynch beating up Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
It had, and it ended with that Brock Lesnar Kofi Kingston match.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. That's like
with the debut at the very end of Cain Velasquez.
Oh yeah, which led to that one single match, just so Brock get that win back.
Yep, pretty much. But yeah, so what is your favorite SmackDown on Fox memory?
It's hard not to say anything that Bloodline did. Actually, you know what? The one where one of the funniest ones was obviously a Bloodline segment when Sami Zayn goes,
Usi?
not very Usi. It just
Yes.
literally cracked the entire Bloodline. And then Roman was just, I'm going to go full-fledged man, Sami Usi.
Mine also involves the Bloodline, but it was I believe post Clash of Champions.
Yeah.
After Jimmy super kicked Roman.
Yeah. That was good.
It was that one episode where both Usos left the Bloodline.
Yeah.
And Jay super kicks Roman. They both super kick Solo, and then Roman gets up screaming at them and sells a super kick like he got shot dead.
Yeah.
I think that's some of the best stuff. Like
the one too where Jay super kicks his own brother and then just blatantly quits WWE, just quits SmackDown completely. That was a good one too.
That was a good one.
Non-bloodline.
Non-bloodline. Okay. Non-bloodline.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, non-bloodline only leaves about an 8-month stretch.
Yeah.
I would actually say the Cena and Fiend stuff going into WrestleMania 36.
That was good.
That was some good stuff.
That was some good stuff. Especially when the Fiend first showed up.
Well, yeah, so like when Cena's like, oh, I'm gonna sit out of WrestleMania this year. and he's saying goodbye to the crowd and stuff, and then the Fiend just pops up.
Yeah.
Just the challenge, that's cool. Anyways, on to the main event. So this happened exactly the way you think it would. As soon as the babyfaces get the upper hand, Jacob Fatu goes Super Saiyan. Just wrecks everybody. The only thing he didn't do was the moonsault.
When Jacob Fatu either faces Roman or joins with Roman, it's going to be huge.
Yep.
When they decide to,
I honestly, even after the beatdown a couple of weeks ago, I think Jacob versus Roman is a money match.
do you think Jacob Fatu will hold that world title at some point?
Yes,
Do you think any
absolutely.
do you think Solo's ever going to actually hold it? I think Solo eventually probably will hold it.
I think Solo eventually will hold it. I think Jay will eventually hold it. I don't think Jimmy's going to hold it. I could see Jimmy winning. I could see Jimmy winning like an IC or US.
I think Tama. Do you think Tama Tonga's going to hold it at some point? Probably not.
I think Tamatonga is another mid card guy.
Right. I don't think Tonga. I don't think Tangaloa will.
Tongaloa would be lucky to hold the 24/7 title.
Yeah. I think he's. Yeah. I think that. I'm gonna give Tama Tonga. I think Tama will hold the title, but I thought if he holds the title, it will not be long. It's gonna be probably a month worth, and that's it.
Yeah, I could see that.
If he holds it, it's gonna be a month worth, and that's the end of it.
Just literally, he gets mega hot out of nowhere, and then you just flip the title to pop a rating.
Yep. And then,
I could see that.
I mean, to be honest, you could even have him win the title, then have Roman beat him.
He'd be a great transitional champion.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I can see him being a transition champ. I don't see him holding for longer than like a month.
And he doesn't have to. And that's the thing.
At this point,
Like,
he doesn't have
I
to.
get it.
If anything, I see him holding that U.S. title for a very long time.
So, before we get out of here, there's two things I want to touch on.
Let's talk.
Number one,
Sure.
in music news,
Okay.
did you see the new lineup for Linkin Park?
Who is this Emily person?
Uh, in some punk band named Dead Sarah or something like that.
Oh, I've
And
heard Dead Sarah. Yeah, I've never. Okay, I know.
yeah, so but they released a new single.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the new single. And they're doing like a 6-stop world tour, hitting like New York. New York is going to be like next Friday. Then they're going to like London, Seoul, South Korea, a couple other places. London, I think I said London, but
I.
yeah,
It's hard to replace someone like Chester Bennington.
they're not trying to replace him.
I know, but it's either way.
It's just a new chapter.
However you look at it, if you're playing those songs,
Sure, I can see that point of view, but I mean, hey, Alice in Chains moved on.
yeah, I'll be honest with you though too. As much as I like Chains, Alice in Chains, even with the new singer, Jerry Cantrell's voice is very prominent in there. Jerry Cantrell sounds a lot like
Sure,
Lane Staley, so it's kind of hard.
but you know what? Like,
Ever heard Jerry's
yeah,
solo stuff? It's really good.
I hear you. I'm just saying, like, it caused a resurgence for them,
Yeah.
like in the early 2010s.
Oh, they're good, but they play. It's really there to play a lot of the older Chain stuff, right? Like they play some
Hmm.
of the newer stuff, but it's mostly older Chain stuff. Like it really. I mean, I haven't seen a lot.
Sublime still tours,
Yeah, it's. I mean,
but also I have two very famous examples:
depends on how you feel. It really depends on how you look at it.
Queen, who now tour with the former singer from Maroon 5. What the fuck's his name? Adam Levine.
So they got rid of Adam Lambert?
Oh, sorry, never mind. Adam Lambert. I get him and Adam Levine mixed up all the fucking time.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Adam Lambert. And then AC/DC.
Well, AC/DC, Bon Scott. To be honest with you can argue with that one. AC/DC was better after Bon Scott. You can argue that.
Yeah, they were bigger after Bon Scott.
Yeah. I don't think Lincoln Park will get bigger after Chester.
I don't think Lincoln Park can get bigger.
No.
Than they already are.
But let's
They are. What's up?
Let's shift from that to let's talk to the. Did you want to talk about the Vince McMahon documentary coming on Netflix?
No, I actually wanted to say, first of all, good job on the Dynamite review the other night.
Thank you.
I just wanted to give my 2 cents on watching felony arson happen on live television. Adam Page is fucking unhinged. Okay, he is fucked.
I mean,
and
AEW All Out is actually tomorrow. I think it is.
It is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I mean, very quickly, I'm sure you went over it at the end of the review, but
I don't really do any predictions on it, but I kind of gave a little prediction, but not really prediction.
Well, no, because it's such a big, it's such a quick turnaround from All In. Obviously, I'm looking forward to the Hangman Swerve cage match. I'm gonna at least make an effort to watch that. Watch that match probably Monday afternoon when I get home.
Yeah.
I mean, Danielson and Perry could be good. Sorry, did you say Osprey and who?
Osprey.
Osprey and Pac
is going to be probably
could be the new match of the year.
It's hard not to say like the best match. Well, the most brutal match in the card will probably be Hangman versus Swerve. But probably the best overall wrestling match will probably be Osprey versus Pac.
Oh, absolutely. Also, even MJF and Daniel Garcia. I think that'll
be good.
I think that. And then, did I see correctly Orange Cassidy and Okada?
So Orange Cat. Well, it's supposed to be collisions tonight. To see 4 people will face Okada for the Continental title. So it's Okada.
So it's Orange Cassidy.
That's 2 other guys, I think it is. Like it's a 4-way.
Yeah, but Orange Cassidy won.
Okay.
That much I know because I saw Jericho cutting a promo on him because he stole Orange Cassidy's backpack. Okay. So if he beats Okada tomorrow, he's not going to have a place to put his title.
Oh, something like that.
Okay.
Missed that.
But Orange Cassidy and Okada, that's a sleeper.
Yeah.
That's a sleeper of a match. But yeah.
Well, let's just see. All Out. They probably have it all up to date now.
But yeah, I just wanted to give a few of my thoughts. I know I was on the Dynamite review a couple of weeks ago, but you know, while Andrew's pulling that up, just like I've been dealing with some personal stuff last couple of weeks. So, I mean, you guys probably noticed my energy was kind of down on the Raw review. So, yeah, just taking it one day at a time.
All right, so we have. All right, so apparently, I guess this isn't really 100% up to date, but if Okada, so it's a AEW Continental Championship 4-way match. So it's Okada versus Cassidy versus 2 other men. Don't know who they are yet. Has not updated that. Osprey versus Pac. Tag Team Championship. Bucks versus the Blackpool Combat Club. Claudio versus.
I don't get that because like literally they just won the trios titles 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to win that. Chicago Street Fight, the CMLL Women's World Title. Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander. Look, I just find
Chris Statlander is going to win that.
I hope so. They need to do something with Chris Statlander as far as this goes.
Oh, she's been cutting killer promos with Stokely.
MJF versus Garcia. Mercedes Moné versus Hikaru Shida for the TBS title.
Oh yeah, I did see Hikaru Shida got Camille banned from ringside,
Yep, that was on Dynamite.
so it's gonna be a one-on-one match.
It,
I mean, Monet's still gonna win,
the
but
steel cage match is
it's now unsanctioned, and the win's not gonna count on the record.
it's
But funny enough though, if you look on AEW's website now,
yeah.
they don't show their records anymore.
Well, they show them on TV though.
Okay.
I saw them on TV, like on Dynamite. So I think all out this week. It's a quick turnaround from All In.
And the thing is like even like Danielson and Perry is like meh, but like
I think it's going to be a good match. I don't see Perry winning that in the slightest.
no.
At
Perry's not gonna win the AEW world title.
least not
Not
yet.
right now.
Maybe down the road, but not yet. Uh,
But like yeah, it's gonna be a good card.
quickly though, do you want to talk quickly though? What are your thoughts on the Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix? Are you going to watch it?
I will probably get to it at some point, or if you actually want to do a show on it,
Good.
I will stomach through it.
Let's do
But
it.
I actually have no desire to watch this. But if you want to do it for content, let's do it for
I'm
content.
going to watch it because I kind of want to hear. I want to see go over what they go over with.
I
There's a
heard it's
lot.
like a double shovel burial was the quote I heard.
Oh, lovely. Interesting to see what happens. I know they're going to mention stuff with Benoit and stuff like that too. So, and that'll be
They
interesting.
showed Benoit in the documentary.
Oh, geez, this will be fun. So,
But apparently there's none of the Janelle Grant stuff.
no, because I think yeah, that's. Did you also
Ongoing
to
investigation.
hear about Hogan on Logan Paul's podcast about something
No.
he mentioned Chris
The
Benoit.
the less I hear about Hulk Hogan, the better.
Was he something about Chris Benoit?
I heard some of the shit that he said,
I,
and it's like, Logan Paul's not doing himself any favors.
from a wrestling standpoint, as far as wrestling goes, like I think Steve Austin said it best. As far as Benoit went, because as far as Benoit's in-ring ability goes, he's a Hall of Famer. But because of what he did is unforgivable. They'll never go in the Hall of Fame for it.
Well, again, it's like, I mean, you can try and separate the art from the artist.
They'll never will. Not with Benoit.
No.
As much as he should have a place in that Hall of Fame,
No,
whether
he
you want
should.
to whether you want to call it or not, he never will.
No,
Based
no.
on what he did.
Any, any, and listen, I was probably one of the biggest Benoit fans back in 2007.
I love Benoit.
Um, but the moment that I found out exactly what happened,
Yeah.
not the bullshit conspiracy stuff that people like to throw around because wrestling fans are fucking delusional.
What conspiracy theory? I never heard of any of these conspiracy theories.
Oh, I've heard everything from like Chavo did it to fucking Kevin Sullivan did it.
Get out of here.
I've
Kevin Sullivan did it. He took it to the grave. I doubt he did it.
okay, I was gonna say, I was like, you better be fucking with me right now.
Kevin Sullivan did it. He took it to the grave.
Nah, fucking look.
I
Well,
don't think Kevin Sullivan ever did it.
no, okay, good. But yeah, no, I've heard tons of theories about it and shit. And it's like people need I'll leave it with this because this show's starting to ramble on here. Okay. As far as Chris Benoit's concerned, um never, ever.
No.
He deserved the treatment he got by being completely blacklisted. Um, what he did is completely unforgivable.
Well, that's what
Um,
that's what Austin said.
yeah, no, I agree with him.
Like, you know,
I don't I don't give a shit about his work in the ring.
mm,
I don't.
that's fine. That's opinionated.
Right. Like that part of it, you can leave to whatever your opinion is. It doesn't bug me if I'm watching an old event and a Benoit match comes on. It's like, okay, whatever, it's there.
Yeah,
Um, but it's I get this like eerie feeling when I see him on the TV.
because you know what happened.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
Right. So knowing what happened, or at least believing the actual facts of what's there,
yeah,
um, it tarnishes any type of um,
yeah.
good.
I feel if Benoit didn't do what he did and he just decided to axe himself, everything would be a lot different.
Everything would be so much different if he didn't
So,
take the other two with him.
yeah, that's the thing too. Like the
If
minute you
I
refuse, the minute it became what it is.
so here's the thing, okay, and I'm not moving the goalpost by any means by saying this, okay. If he had just done himself in,
Yep.
that dude is celebrated even to this day.
Oh, 100% he is.
But the minute that he took that little boy's life,
Yeah, that's kind of where it ended.
it's over.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't use the word forgive, but I can see in like a crime of passion type way,
Yeah.
like taking someone else with you, but leave the kid out of it.
Yeah. Although I think if it was just him and Nancy, I still think that people would still think the exact same thing.
I well, I mean, again, murder's murder.
Yeah, it's murder the first amount. Like, it is what that is.
Murder is murder. But
Right.
anyways, we're
Yeah.
talking in circles. I'm gonna get us out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening. Uh, you can tell it's been a while. We had a lot to talk about. Um, so I'm gonna do everything I can to get us up on Apple podcasts by. I was gonna do it tonight, but I probably won't do it tonight. I'll probably do it tomorrow, and hopefully by next week it'll be up and running. We'll be over on Apple Podcasts. Um, but in the meantime, in between time, you can go if you're listening to this on Podbean or Spotify or anywhere else you get your podcasts. Please give us a rating, 5 stars. Shoot us a follow, and why don't you go check out our YouTube at DA Wrestling Podcast uh, socials. The show is DA Sports Podcast on Instagram, DA Sports Pod on X. That man there is A Purcell 1982 on Instagram, Andrew DA Sports on TikTok. I'm D Lions 1991 on X. Signing off. We'll catch you down the road.